Good morning. Today I'm gonna talk about a woman I met a few weeks ago, and we discussed about her out-of-body experiences. Before our meeting, she actually invited me to one of her performances. I think it was like a month earlier, and already there I had an idea about who she is and what actually really she might knows and understand about our existence, about how what like about us being spiritual beings. So that performance was all about spirituality and energies, and the speech that she had at the end, was really powerful for me, because it was a speech about how we are just energy. We just carry a body for a temporary, time in what we call life, and how our energies are all connected. So that speech gave me an idea about the person I was going to meet a few weeks later. So the evening we agreed to meet, I decided to be around central London, Whitechapel. She told me that she didn't feel well, and so I didn't want to be too far from where she lives. And so I finished work, and I headed to Whitechapel. And while I was waiting for her, like a guy asked me for his phone. Asked me for my phone. So the excuse was that he was running out of battery and he needed to make a call, a very important call. So already something was happening. I mean, this is how I interpreted it. Something was already happening energetically. So I gave the phone to the guy. He made a call. I could overhear because he was sitting next to me initially. There was some problem with someone, because I overheard him say, "Please, let's meet. I won't create any problems." So something serious. There was something serious, and so while I was waiting, and he was on the phone, and finally the person I had to meet arrived, and there was no way to get my phone back. The guy was was obviously in distress, crying, and I could listen something more. So there was a big issue with his girlfriend, wife. Something happened, and what I think she blocked his number, and the reason actually he asked for my phone so that she could call with a different number and that she would answer. So finally we made it, and finally I could get the phone back, and the guys thanked me for this big favor, and hopefully he sorted out with his partner. But why I'm telling about this story is because I think there was something connected with her coming, this guy asked me for the phone, so there was something. But anyway, so she arrived, and while I was waiting initially, and before the guy asked me for the phone, I kind of browsed around to see if there was some nice place to meet, but it wasn't anything basically. So I decided to just, once she arrived, to go to Brick Lane, because in Brick Lane there's a lot of places that it would match, like the kind of people that we are. So I tell her, look, let's go to Brick Lane, and then she tells me, well, look, why we don't go to this Italian, Korean, vegan restaurant? And that was already like, another things about, all this energy that was happening that evening, because that place was what I wanted to go initially. And the only reason I didn't propose it was because she told me that she had a sore throat, and so I didn't want to go, initially didn't want to go too far. I wanted to just stay, tube-wise close where she lives. So I tell her, look, that was actually the place I wanted to go. So it's like you could fail or like listen my thoughts. And she tells me something interesting. She says the masculine energies always has to decide for the feminine. That was fascinating. I never heard it say that from anyone. So I replied, it's like, yeah, but the masculine has to be, has to be sure that the feminine is fine when she's not well. So the masculine needs to look after her. She's saying nothing. But apart from that, it was interesting to hear something like this. So I wasn't prepared, I never heard that before. So we headed to the restaurant, and for me was even that, again, some sort of messages, because, there is someone that played a really important role in my, like I would say, growth, spiritual growth. And the fact that this woman, proposed this place, her name is Julia, it's an Italian Korean place. So for me it was all a message, especially because this important person is Korean. So again, as I said, I saw it as a message. So again, it's another piece of the puzzle, going in this huge pool of energy that was somehow connecting people that evening. That I think was due because of her. So we we got to the restaurant, we sat, and we ordered food, and then she didn't feel very well. So she has diabetes, and she had like a kind of like a low sugar level, and so I dropped like to the nearest convenience store. I got for her some like orange juices so that she could pick it up, and then we start to talk. So I didn't want to go too around, randomly chit chatting before getting her. So I got straight to the questions, like how you came out of your body. Like, can you get out of your body, or it's happening, randomly? Do you have any control? She tells me that she does not have control. It happened naturally. She go to sleep, and then she's out of the body. And then she tells me that that's something that happened to her since she was a kid. When she was a kid, she thought to be normal. She thought that everyone has a similar experience. So obviously, initially she never talked about it because she thought, okay, that's everyone does have it. But obviously, when she started to share her out-of-body experiences, people obviously started to think that she was crazy, and that she stopped talking or sharing her experiences. Obviously, like growing up, she got she became a lawyer, financial lawyer, something that she tells me she never liked it, because she always knew she was an artist, and that how happened many times. She, she chose a career that would guarantee like money and safety, but unhappiness. And at some point, she decided that she couldn't hold it anymore. She needed to fulfill her soul call, and she gave up her career to work full time as an artist. So she designed all recycling, plant-based clothes. She performs, and she's happy. I'm sure it's much less money, but she obviously having now a much more meaningful life and happier life. So while I asked about what was happening when she was out of her body, and she tells me that when she came out of her body, she is on other planes of existence. She has control to what is happening when she's out of her body. So she can decide what to experience, who to meet, where to go. And she tells me that out there in the unseen, there are infinite worlds with entities that we can even imagine. There are, beings that, we cannot even think about it, because it's something that goes beyond of what our society system is about. So when she's out, she have knowledge. She gain a knowledge that we don't have when we are in our body. She have a knowledge about what life is, what what our existence is about. So this is something that she could gain only when she leaves the body. So it's like without the body, she tells me that there is no pain, there is no emotion, there is only like I would say like constant sense of peace. And because like not having the body, so the body is the one that holds all the emotions, physical emotions and feelings. So once you are out of it, you don't have that with you. So you don't feel what you would, carry around this vessel that we call the human body. So, and this is very similar to what many people that told me about their near-death experiences and and all the story I read about near-death experiences, because what she tells me is actually very similar. Like living in the body, being just an essence, just the soul, being able to travel in different planes of the existence, meeting beings, the sense of peace is actually this, basically is what most of the people that have died and came back that say and talked about the same things as the knowledge that those people gain while we're out of the body. That is exactly sounds like what she tells me. So there is something that makes me think that she might actually have a near-death experience every single night, because she tells me that because of her diabetes issue that she carried with her from when she was a kid, like she's something like, she tells me maybe it's just genetically running through the family. And so at night when she goes to sleep, it's when if I remember well, like her sugar level literally dropped to a level where she basically lose all like the vital function of their body. And she tells me that many times she just wake up on time to take her medications to raise the sugar levels, because otherwise she will actually die. So now in this part I don't remember exactly all the details, but it's definitely what happens to her with this, like dropping in sugars or something else. But anyway, makes basically like to really be very close to die every single night. And that's what makes me think that what she has, what the her out of body experience is actually that, or something very close to that, and that's why she detached. So the difference is that a lot of the near-death experiences, stories, when they're coming back into their body, they have no choice. Except some that says that they had the choice to coming back or not. The majority normally, they cannot decide. They always say that there is something out there, an entity, that tells them that's not their time and send them back. While for her, she tells me that while she cannot decide when came out of her body, but she can decide when actually going back. So it's fascinating not to hear, about this, because obviously I never had it myself, so I cannot, I can't just say yes, it's true. I had my, unique mystical experiences. So obviously that's for me enough to, not like believing, but being conscious of the fact that it's possible. But I never take for granted anything of what I hear or read, except like I actually had it myself, and then I can say yes, it's true. I have this feeling that what she told me, it is true. But I wanted to share it because I know there is something else out there. I know there are, and what we can call it, entities, or there are souls that it's like there is an energy that's still around. So for me, obviously, there is something else out there that we cannot see, but that we can actually reach the point to get in touch once we are able to raise our frequencies, like with meditation, or like trying to focus on being in the now. So all technique that basically makes your inner frequency rising. So when they're rising, that's when you're able to connect to what we see, we call the unseen. At least this is based on my personal experiences. So meeting this woman, it was important. I mean, talking with someone that had such a, interesting life, because obviously, you can imagine, she's coming from Kazakhstan, She was a financial lawyer, giving up everything. We're talking about a lot of money, giving up a lot of money and a luxury lifestyle. That obviously doesn't mean that we don't need that. Obviously, we don't need a luxury lifestyle. But, our society, puts so much pressure on us, that's why people choose jobs they don't like. So she gave up all of this anyway. So like a safety, a comfortableness for like uncertainty, but she chose to follow her soul call and passions, that is arts. So already that is a wonderful story to share. And but to hear, like someone that claimed to, get out of her body, flying as a soul in different plane existence of different like a level of energies. It's always fascinating, especially because now, after many years researching and meeting people with with their stories, is becoming so much that like even if you are skeptical or rational or you don't believe it, it's, you can't deny that there is something going on that we haven't been told, that is in purpose or not, but there are something out there that we haven't been told about. So while I was writing about this story, about her about experiences, it reminds me about something that happened years ago when I lived in Fulham. So one evening I was walking toward the high street and waiting at the traffic light. I see a car drew my attention. There was two girls, one driving, one in the front seat, and then behind, sitting in the middle, there was an old man picking his nose, like look like those kind of like old pervert men. So it was really kind of like weird. So I look at them, and I see him, like behind them with this really like a pervert face, picking his nose. Then I look around for literally a second, and when I look back to the car, it was gone. So I start to look around, in the park, like there was a park in front of me, look everywhere. There was no sign of this guy, of this man, and there was no way he could have got out of the car that fast. No way, no way. There was no way. It was just like a second, just like look at that and back. So something happened. So at the time I was taking a quite heavy medication for a bad asthma attack I had a few weeks earlier. So I thought that if maybe there was something to do with that, because I know that when I've been in deep meditation, or I've been or my inner frequency was to a level of such a peace that I was in connected to the other side. I know that it could have been possible, to have a vision and so on. But at the time, my body and my emotions, because of this medication, there was not even close to a sense of peace. So when I get back home in the evening, I check the medication, like a leaflet, and as a side effect, believe it or not, it says hallucinations. So that already inside, already those information should give you an idea about what the hell they are giving us, what they put inside of those medications that we take on a daily basis. That already should question it. So a medication that should help you to fix your asthma problems as a side effect as hallucinations. And not just that, it was actually saying you could hear or seeing things that are not there. So now, even if this medication gave me hallucinations, all right, even if, so now I cannot, take out of my head the fact that I could actually see something that was not like a dream, or was actually real. What, like the man I saw in the car was, for me, was real, like real. So if that was just the result of those medications, so like that should make you questioning what we call reality. So if that is possible, even all of this we are going through on a daily basis could be just an hallucination. And how can you discern within what is real, what is not, what is an amazing, perfect hologram, and what is not? We can't. You can't. Like that, if really that was the medication for, if that man was as real as all this shit around me. So that was really, like a powerful event. So now to, get back to my friend, it's, I tried in the past, techniques to came out of my body. Never happened. There was only once where I literally could feel my soul, my internally sense that we call the soul, start basically detaching, and then eventually it got back inside. That was say the closest things I ever had to an out of body experience. So I have now met countless of people that had near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, visions, dreams becoming true, and so on. My message here is just, again, as I always say, to make you think. Life is not just what we see. You need to think. There is much more. We are not just a baby, a student, a worker, a family member, an old person, and die. That's it. It's not. It can't be. Those stories are to make you asking questions. There is much more there. There is no separation. There is no me against you. There is nothing to gain in this temporary journey, materialistic wise. So there is much more. And those stories is to give you an idea about that something more that we've been taught. I strongly believe that everything is by design. Like, we are not told about this in purpose. We are not told about the powerful energies that we can reach being in peace. And that's the reason why probably all our news are flooded with bad news, everything needs to be in a way that could keep our energy low. And the lowest energy is fear. And everything around us, it's about fear. You know, I'm not having a career that should have fear. Or there is a war coming on, fear. The price is going up, fear. Inflation, fear. I don't have money, fear. I don't know if we're gonna survive, fear. I'm gonna get sick, fear. All those energy are just preventing to experience something different. So I don't think it's an accident. Yes, I think that there are people out there conscious about this, about what is our existence. They just made a choice to keep it for themselves and to have control over people. Now, we can even believe that everything it's done in the way it is, so that like in a massive movie, all there are the good people and the bad people, so that we can grow. But to grow and learn, we need the souls, the place, the bad people. So it could be, I'm not dismissing this, it could be. So, but questions is the most important, and because of those questions that I would like to try ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a plant that is believed to get you, to connect you with the unseen. So I don't know that, never had it, just got really curious. I already had my experiences, like probably you have with ayahuasca, without ayahuasca, or those like a magic mushroom and so on. They are not like all substances that should give you the opportunity to see something more. But I don't know, just really curious, and just curious if can give you a bigger insight about our existence. So like you, I might have some answer for something, but I haven't a lot of other questions that haven't been answered. But I'm asking questions, and I don't believe the narrative has been offered to me since a young age, and so do you. You shouldn't believe the narrative they told you from when you were a kid. Because we are all connected. We are all energy. As my friend, my new friend from Kazakhstan, we are energy. And maybe when we go to sleep, we all living our body in what we call dreams, with the difference that my friend is capable to control what we call dreams, and most of us can't. But what if dreams are actually each of us living our body and being a soul, and being what maybe we really are, just a soul, just energy. Have a good day.